All right, if you're an AP seminar teacher, you know that the start of the year is everything. So in this explainer, we're going to give you a really clear, actionable blueprint to absolutely nail that first unit. The goal? To set both you and your students up for an amazing year. Okay, so this is the big question, right? How in the world do you get students ready for a research marathon that lasts an entire year? I mean, this isn't your typical class with separate units. It's one long journey, and we've got to train them for it. So where do you even start? First things first, let's just look at the numbers, because they tell the whole story. This is what makes seminars so different. A whopping 55% of a student's final score comes from the work they do in your classroom, way before they even see that final exam. That's huge. The pressure's on from day one. So, how do we handle that kind of pressure? Well, here's the secret. It all comes down to the first 6 weeks. The College Board calls it Cycle 1, but honestly, it's the whole ballgame. It's not just an introduction, it's the blueprint for the entire year. If you get this right, you change the trajectory of the whole course for your students.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We'll look at the challenge, then we'll dive right into that Cycle 1 blueprint. After that, we'll talk about the skills you need to build, how to actually practice them, and we'll wrap up with the super important stuff, policies and academic integrity. All right, Section 1, the AP Seminar Challenge. And really, the best way to think about it is this. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We've got to get our students out of that mindset of just cramming for a test. This is about building endurance, one skill at a time, for the long haul. Okay, let's get into the blueprint itself. Section 2, Cycle 1. So let's be specific here. We're talking about that critical 6-week window at the start of the school year. Think mid-August to late September. This is your protected time. This is where you build the foundation before things get real. Here's the best analogy I've heard. Cycle 1 is the scaffolding you build around your students. Every skill you teach, how to evaluate a source, how to break down an argument, it's not just a one-off lesson. It's a piece of that support structure that's going to hold them up all year long, through every single performance task.
So if we're building this scaffolding, what are the actual bricks and mortar? That's what Section 3 is all about. The core foundational skills you've got to teach in those first 6 weeks. You know, the curriculum guide lays this out so well. We're not just teaching them how to Google something. We're teaching them how to spot a real-world problem and really think about it. How to pick apart someone's line of reasoning. And maybe most importantly, how to look at an issue from all these different angles, even the ones that conflict with each other. And you know what? A huge part of this is just getting everyone on the same page with vocabulary. I mean, we can't talk about complex ideas if a student thinks argument just means yelling. When we nail down words like bias, credibility, perspective, we're not just making a vocab list. We're building a shared language, a whole culture of academic conversation in our classroom.
And this is a big one. You have to teach these proficiencies by name. Why? Because these are literally the categories on the rubric. When you say, okay, today we are working on the proficiency called Evaluate Sources and Evidence, you're pulling back the curtain. You're showing them exactly how they'll be graded. It takes all the mystery out of it and gives them a clear path to a good score.
All right, let's shift gears. Section 4, putting skills into practice. We've talked about the what, but now let's get to the how. How do we actually do this in the classroom without overwhelming our students? How do we make them feel comfortable and confident?
Okay, here's a super practical action plan. These are low-stakes activities with a huge payoff. First, show them an EOC exemplar, like on day 1. Let them see where the journey ends. Then have them do a simple peer introduction speech. It's a fantastic icebreaker for presentation jitters. Find a great TED Talk and have them analyze the argument. It's engaging, it's relevant. And give them a vocabulary project so they really, truly own those key terms. Okay, we're at our final section, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all. Policies and academic integrity. For this course, setting clear expectations from the minute they walk in the door is absolutely non-negotiable. First up, we have to be so clear about our role. The College Board is very specific with their list of do's and don'ts. Think of yourself as a coach or a facilitator. Yes, you can teach skills to the whole class, you can have check-in meetings, but you absolutely cannot give them their research question or rewrite their sentences. It's a fine line, but our job is to guide them, not carry them. That distinction is everything.
And speaking of integrity, there's a major update this year that you need to know about: the new mandatory AI and plagiarism checkpoints. This is a big deal. It's a new system designed to make sure students are doing their own authentic work.
So let's look at the first one. For the IRR, you're now required to do checkpoint number 1. What does that mean? Basically, the student gives you a log of their sources, and then you sit down with them for a quick chat. You're just talking about their process, how they find this stuff, how is their question changing. It's part mentorship, part verification, and it's a really powerful moment.
And listen, let's not mince words about how serious this is. The College Board puts it in black and white. If the teacher fails to complete the digital attestation for this checkpoint, the student gets a 0 on the IRR. A 0. No discussion, no appeals. It's a hard and fast rule.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. What's the blueprint? 1. Use Cycle 1 to build that foundation of skills. 2. Get them presenting early and often with low-stakes stuff. 3. Be crystal clear on your policies and your role as a facilitator. And 4. Make the rubrics and exemplars their best friends. Show them the target so they know what they're aiming for.
So, I want to leave you with this one question. It comes straight from the curriculum, and it's the heart and soul of this course. This is what we want our students wrestling with. If you can get them to start asking questions like this, to really think this way in those first 6 weeks, you haven't just started the year well, you've set them up for a totally transformative experience.